Hey guys, Cassie here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you 3 easy DIYs using items from the Dollar Tree. So first, I finally found one of these super cute vases and I wanted to just make it look a little bit more farmhousey. So I used some twine, a foam brush to paint, of course scissors, and then I used the Waverly white chalk paint. So I found this really pretty lavender at Walmart and it was only 97 cents, so it was a great buy. They do have this kind of odd white film on them, but didn't really bother me too much. Not sure if you can see it on here. So my first step was to take my foam brush and use the chalk paint in a pretty generous amount, and I went ahead and just put it all over the vase. Now I didn't really try to get it into every single crevice and crack because I already wanted that kind of rustic farmhouse distressed look. So I went ahead and just put a light coat on it. The next thing I did was took my twine and just pulled out a bunch, and I wanted to just wrap it around the top a bunch of times. So I kind of started and didn't get as much as I wanted, so just played with it and pulled out more and then ended up wrapping it all the way around. I didn't try to do this like one layer on top of the other. I tried to kind of crisscross them, and again looking for that kind of distressed farmhouse look. And then I just went ahead and tied it in a knot and trimmed the edges. And of course, the last step was to take the lavender and put it into the vase, fluff it up to look real pretty. For our second DIY today, we're gonna make a succulent arrangement. So I got this circular kind of small fishbowl looking vase. I had these succulents from a previous haul, and then I had this air plant on hand. Now the white rocks are such a great buy, and this amount is just 1 bag from the Dollar Tree. I started with pouring some rocks in, but later realized I needed a bunch more. And then I went ahead and just removed these succulents from their little foam planter. I went ahead and used all of the white rocks to fill up the vase, and then I started placing my succulents, just playing with, where I thought they looked good, etc. I will say it was really hard to stick them in through the rocks, so if I were to do it again, I definitely would hang on to some of the rocks and then put them on after. As you can see here, I poured some out so that I could do just that. Then lastly, after I liked my arrangement, I had kind of an afterthought, and I took some greenery that I had from the Dollar Tree. They're kind of these lavender-y looking plants, but all I did was use the greenery from it. So I cut off a few and then just stuck them in to kind of fill up some of the empty spaces. And that was the perfect finishing touch. For our third and final DIY for today, I bought this floral spring beautiful decor item, but we are actually going to make it into a home sign. So of course I used my foam brush, a razor blade, and then I used the Waverly chalk paint in rhubarb, and then I also was going to use the antique wax, but I didn't end up using it. So first I just disassemble the entire thing. My plan was to be able to scrape off the glitter parts on the front, but that ended up just kind of ripping and tearing, and it just really didn't work out. So instead what I did is just went ahead and painted over it, and it really didn't look too bad at all. It was just around the edges that were a little bit textured, and it looked fine. Of course, I went ahead and painted all of these. They took 3 coats of paint so that you couldn't see any of the design around it, and then I went ahead and made sure I had the edges covered as well. I then made a design on my Cameo Silhouette and cut it out. If you didn't have something like this, you could of course buy something, or you could just use a stencil, would work just fine. Once I had these all weeded, I went ahead and put transfer tape over the vinyl and cut them apart so that I could apply them to the squares. I went ahead and just took off that backing paper and then applied them, and you can see how easy and simple it is here. Of course, again, the method would be slightly different if you're using a stencil or something, but you get the same basic idea. I have to say, I do love my machine, and I definitely use the tools that I have whenever I can. Now I kept that same piece of ribbon that these originally came on, and all I did was went ahead and hot glued them back on. This was so simple and easy, and it turned out really great. I hope you guys enjoyed all 3 of these DIYs and you go home and do them as well. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and give it a big thumbs up if you like this video and wanted to see more like it. Thanks guys, see you next time.